Hey everyone, CL again. I am back. I just filmed the video, but now I'm filming my December wrap up. I'm gonna make this video somewhat quick because the sun is quickly going down and it's going to get very dark very soon. For December, I'm actually gonna leave out the books that I read for Cramathon because I did a separate wrap up for that. If you're interested in the books that I read for Cramathon, please see the link below and it will take you to that video. So the first book that I listened to as an audiobook was Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. I highly recommend this book, especially if you are introverted. I am highly introverted, and for a long time growing up I was not aware of any books to kind of find out more about what that means, why I am that way. For a very long time, even going into adulthood, I always felt like something was wrong with me, like why can't I be like those other people? Because being an extrovert seems so much easier than being an introvert. So it was a big struggle for me even to this day, and unfortunately I have passed this curse on to my daughter. She is very introverted as well, and I call it a curse because anyone who lives as an introvert will know exactly what I'm talking about. But what I like about this book, it made me feel a lot better about myself as an introvert. It made me feel like that, hey, you're actually a very special person. So highly recommend this book. If you can read the book, I recommend reading it. The narrator for the audiobook has a super relaxing voice. So even if you start this audiobook early in the morning, once 10 minutes in, you'll feel like you need to go lay down and cuddle up in a blanket and close your eyes because her voice is that relaxing. So the next book that I read was Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling. I absolutely adore Mindy Kaling. I think she's very funny and I think she's an amazing writer. I totally ship her and BJ Novak so hard. But this book, I have to say, this is a lot better than the first book in my opinion. I really liked it. I think that you will really like it as well, especially if you are a fan of Mindy Kaling. I gave this book 4 stars. The next book that I read was Grandmaster by David Klass. I had high hopes for this book, but in the end I ended up giving it 2 stars. I was hoping that it would delve into like the mind of being this young and intelligent person, but most of it was kind of like YA romance, which at some point just felt ridiculous and forced to me. But I guess when you read a YA novel, that's kind of part of it, right? They always have to insert some sort of romance, which I think is unfortunate and not necessary every time. But yes, what I didn't like about this book is that it would tell us a lot. Like, it would tell us that someone was sad. It would tell us that this person is going through a hard time. When I read a book, I want to be dragged through the mud emotionally right along with the character. But I didn't feel that at all. I didn't feel any emotional connection. So yeah, that's just me. I am hurrying because the sun is going down. The next book I read was Pegasus, The Flame of Olympus by Kate O'Hearn. I bought this during Black Friday because I was in the mood for an adventure, and this book absolutely delivered. Have you ever had a book where you read the first 2 pages and you automatically know that it's going to be an amazing book? This book was that for me. I already purchased the next 2 books from the book outlet Boxing Day sale, which you'll see in a haul video coming up. But yes, I love this book. It was amazing. I'm looking forward to reading the next 2 once they come in. So yeah, 4 stars. I gave this 4 stars. The next book that I read was Gustav Gloom and the Nightmare Vault. I read the first volume, which was Gustav Gloom and the People Taker. And for is this considered a middle grade? I don't know. But for a middle grade novel geared to like, well, I don't want to say children necessarily, but this is a pretty dark story, but we learn more about this guy here, Gustav, and the more I learn about him, the more intrigued I am. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the first book. I gave both 4 stars. The next book that I read, and this was actually for Booktubeathon, and Booktubeathon I only read 1 book, and that book was Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I have to say, hands down, that this is one of the best books I have read in 2015. I know this book has a lot of hype, and I think the hype is well deserved. So yeah, I think this is a good introductory book if you're just getting into sci-fi, because it isn't too sci-fi heavy. which I think will be nice for those just getting into the genre. And yeah, so I gave this book 5 stars. When I went on to Goodreads and I seen that some people gave this book 1 star, my immediate reaction was, did you really even read the book? Because this is so amazing. If you do pick up this book, I recommend that you don't just read the first quarter, because the first quarter is a little bit slower and you might not think that the book isn't very special, but you do have to read from cover to cover, because I will tell you that it gets so exciting. Once you reach like the halfway point, the pages are gonna really fly and it gets really exciting. I absolutely love this book. I'm looking forward to the next one. So yes. And the last book for my December wrap-up that I listened to as an audiobook is The Fifth Wave, and it was pretty amazing. I enjoyed it. That's another book that's very hyped, and I thought the hype was well deserved. Maybe not to the same level as Illuminae, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it on audiobook, and I really liked it on audiobook. I thought the narrators did an amazing job. I really liked the male narrator. He has like such a sexy voice. I don't know how to describe that, and maybe it's all in my head, but I really liked it. I am looking forward to reading or listening to the next installment to The Fifth Wave, which I think is called Infinite Seas. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yes, I already have that requested on hold on my Overdrive app. So yes, and I ended up giving The Fifth Wave 5 stars and Illuminae 5 stars. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. So yes, sorry for that rushed December wrap up, but that is all the books that I read for December, including my Cramathon books, which is on my other video. So thank you all for listening to me ramble and rush today. So that's it for my wrap up today. Good luck with 2016, everyone, and I wish you all the best this coming new year, and I will talk to you later.